today we have to finish the topic of extension, right? The topic of extension is seen quite quickly in the book of Caplin, and apart from being seen quickly, I think what he intends to do with that concept is to just create a concept rather than a deeply analyzed function with extension. Remember that it's a slave function, so basically it doesn't exist on its own. Yeah, it's not like continuation or that you can mix and match. Extension will only happen attached to another function. Yeah, so he provides many different examples. Yeah, but what I like the most, and that's why I prepared this example, is how he clarifies in this fourth example, yeah, what is an extension in terms of the concept. So you can see it, and you don't have to really always trace back the specific examples that we are seeing. No, it's important that you understand what an extension is, and conceptually. And with this, I would like also to mention that he considers a standing on the dominant an extension sometimes as well, which is confusing, because standing on the dominant, we don't necessarily understand it as an extension of the dominant. It is an extension of the dominant, but it has a bit more importance in the way we think about its function, no? Because it can be part of B, but still it can be, I will show you now, it can be understood as an extension. Funnily enough, we will not label it extension. We will say it's an extension, but in analysis we say standing on the dominant. So it's very tricky, yeah, in that sense, the concept. So we're going to start with this first example, yeah, which I have here prepared for you. Oh. Let's see. Well. Let's see. Give me 1 second. I'm a bit confused with the. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. Okay. That's it. Okay, very good. And then this is something else. Very good. Right. So we go. In this example, I will show you, or I will ask you to try and see where is the extension. And where is the extension, basically? Where is the extension, and what's the final effect of the extension in the function? What's the final effect of the extension in the function? Okay, let me see if I can just open just 1 second. Have it here. Perfect. Okay, we're ready. So we go. So once again, I will just tell you, in this example we see how the consequent of this compound theme is expanded, yeah, through extending the continuation prior to the cadential. So let's see if you can see it, yeah, in this example. There we are. So we have to share the screen with sound. There we are. Okay. Very good. Okay, so we go. Just take off the volume. This. So I can play for you. So basically, can you hear it? Sorry, I'm playing it wrongly. So. One more time, so I can play it a bit better, and then we go. We will analyze it first, and then we will do it. We will do the conclusion. So. Okay, so let's see if you can see how it works. Yeah, there is something in this theme which can be confusing. Yeah, and let's see if you spot it. This is one single thing, right? So what's the first different elements that we can discuss? Yes.
I will look for the extension.
Curious.
I was looking for an extension, I said.
Wait, I can't hear you.
No?
Yes, sorry, it's my fault. Yeah. That's it, yes.
Are we looking for an extension? Yes.
No, first of all, can you describe the example? First of all, if you describe the example, first of all, the shape. So, what's odd about the shape? It's not that it's odd, but it's unusual. What is unusual about the shape?
It is 16 bars long.
Exactly.
I would think it is some sort of compound thing.
It is indeed. It's a compound thing that we haven't studied. Yeah, it's a compound thing. A compound theme. It's an entire chapter of our learning that you haven't gone through. So, but I will help you. A compound theme, for example, in this case, it is a compound period. Yeah, it's a compound period made up of two sentences. Right? Why do you think this is the easiest compound theme actually? Why do you think it's so appropriate to use two sentences to do a compound period?
Because there is one cadence in the sentence, not two, like if it were two periods, too many cadences. If you scale it down, if you think of it as 2n equals 1, all the characteristics are there of the basic idea, which is now our antecedent, has the tonic prolongation, for example. It has the basic idea would be now our 4 bars.
Exactly, that's the key. The basic idea is repeated in the sentence. So,
yes, of course.
As it is repeated in the sentence, it accounts for the same statements. Yeah? So the statement is indeed repeated in the compound period. Therefore, it really enhances the need, the quintessential structural need to say that something is a period. Yeah? To have a head that then is followed by something else, and the head again, and then conclusion. Yeah. So in that sense, having two sentences is the perfect structure. Yeah. Apart from that, the sentence can be ended in what cadence?
Half cadence, yes.
That's it. Which is something the period can't. Yeah. So then it's very important that we place a sentence in the first in the antecedent. Yeah. So the antecedent, this sentential compound antecedent, as a whole, that's what it should. No, it finishes in a half cadence, no problem. Yeah. So there is nothing odd about it. I will play it once again. Yeah. So you can now hear it with other eyes. Okay. So let's see. Let me just take off the. If I can. Let me see. We'll take off the sound, yeah, because it doubles the piano and the.
That's why it doubles it for us as well.
Exactly. That's it. So. So, who can? I mean, I think Iris. I will not ask. I will ask you to do the least compromised part. Okay, in harmonic analysis. So it's, if you don't feel confident, then we do it all together. Okay? Can you analyze the first sentence? More than analyze it harmonically, say everything you can. Okay? So I will highlight it. Yeah. And we work on it, right? So, we call this sentence an antecedent, right? So, where do you think is the, actually, let me see if I can use a whiteboard for the first time in our lessons. So I allow you to do notes in there. Just one second. Huh? Let me see.
We are already able to do notes, no?
Sorry?
We are already able to do notes.
In the share screen?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Oh, really?
I can try.
Yeah. There you are.
So I have to take the if I do this.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
Are you on computer?
No.
Then I'm sorry, I cannot help you.
Okay. Do you don't have a computer? There, no.
No.
Well, next time. Don't worry. So we don't waste time. That you can tell me. You can tell me, and it's the same. Yeah. So, okay, it is. So this sentence is called. We are going to write it here in bold antecedent. Yeah. Like this.
Is it on the antecedent? Can we call it that?
Sorry?
We call it a compound antecedent?
No, we will just call it compound period. Yes, it should be. Yes, it is. We could call it compound antecedent. He doesn't, but normally, yeah, it wouldn't be an issue.
I got a little bit confused with all of that you said about the compound.
Yeah, and let me tell something to you as well. The antecedent is a sentence. So that's why I think he doesn't normally label compound antecedent. He just says the antecedent is a sentence. If the antecedent is a sentence, it's compound. You see? And then he says it's a compound period. Yeah, I'm going to check. Yeah, and he reserves the term compound for compound basic idea. Yeah, in a later category of compound themes. But when you write it down, yeah, in the text, yeah, what I will try to check. I want to be very precise with this. Just 1 second. Because in all the cases, he doesn't label it like that in the text, in the score. But then when he talks about it, he talks about the compound antecedent, the compound consequent. Okay? But I agree with him in that if you write antecedent here and you write sentence below, it goes, you can choose to write compound antecedent or not. Yeah? You can choose. It's not incorrect. That's for sure. It is indeed a compound antecedent. Yeah? Okay, so let's see. It is.
So I see a basic idea, but now I'm not sure because of what you said before. I didn't understand the compound.
Exactly. So let me help you with that. So we will analyze it first of all as a sentence. Okay, so this beat, these 8 bars, is a sentence for you. You have to analyze it as if it wasn't, as if this didn't happen, right? So this is a sentence. So how does it work?
Okay, so I see the basic idea, the first 2 bars, and then, I'm very confused because for me,
First,
what I see?
Yes, first of all, the harmony. Can you? So we organize the speech. Yeah, because it will be helpful for you to do it like that. So let's see. First, the harmony. So tell me.
That's one.
Yeah, just 1 second. I press the piano. No, you're right. I just have to switch off the piano. Just 1 second. That's it. And let me go here, there, and there it is. Okay. Yes. 1.
And then, I would say 5, but for me, it looks like a neighboring chord, right?
Yeah, but it is. It is the 5th on, yes, 5th on the...
And then 1...
On the 6th, right?
Yes, sorry. So
and it is a neighboring chord. It is a neighboring chord indeed. Yeah?
Okay. And then 1 again.
Yes.
And then 5 again. But in second inversion.
So?
6-4.
4-3.
No?
Exactly, 4-3. And why? Can you
Oh
say why?
my God, we have the 7. Sorry, it's true. I didn't read it. And
that's
then
it. And then?
1 again in first inversion.
Good.
And then we have the second
Yes.
in first inversion.
Thank you.
16. And then we have the 5th of the 5th.
Yes. I'm going to write it. Let me see how I can do it in this program. So it's the 5th of the 5th. And actually, in what position? In what inversion?
We are in first inversion.
Indeed. So
then I have 7.
So
when it is the 6th as well.
Again?
The 6th as well?
No, just a little extra.
No.
The 6 is fine.
It's true.
So the 6 is fine. What else?
The 6 is fine.
The 6 is fine. You need something else. 5, 6. 5, 6.
Okay.
5, 6, 3, 4, and 2. 5, 6, 3, 4, and 2. Yeah? It goes like in a sequence. 5, 6, 3, 4, the 2, and then no, sorry, at the beginning, nothing. Yeah? The 7. So, okay, and then what do we have?
Then, it's G, it's a 5th, but it's 1, so, because it was a T before. I mean, the new
It's
one.
the fifth.
No?
It's the fifth because it's a half cadence. Exactly.
We just said like the previous one was the fifth of the fifth.
Yes, exactly. So the fifth of this. So we're going to write. This is the fifth. So fifth.
Okay.
Da-da-dee-da-da. We're going to write 7 because then the phi is there later on. Yeah. So then we will write 7 there. Okay. Now I will try to. I don't have an arrow in here, unfortunately. I think. No, I don't have anything. So I will just do like this. And that's it. Okay. And then this one it is a neighboring chord actually. So we can actually.
If you label the last one with the dominant and with the seventh, then you should label this with the seventh as well, no?
Which one?
The second chord.
This one with the seventh. Re, sol, fa, indeed. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, you're right. You're right.
I couldn't, but consistency.
Yeah. It aids to the consistency. So it's 5 is 6, 5. Very good. Okay, I can't put this into a bracket for some. That's one of the things in which you're right. Actually, Sibelius sometimes is. It doesn't let me. Okay, so I will. That's it. That's it. Okay.
The fourth chord as well, no? On the bracket.
Yes, exactly. Bracket. We will leave this one without the bracket, but we should put in a bracket as well, but not necessary. It's better with an arrow, but we don't have the arrow, so we leave it like that. Okay, so now we have a frame. Now that you have the frame, yeah, I will just help you. Just 1 second. I will just help you by doing the see that I don't write sentence there. Yeah, I just write what I'm basically saying. Yeah. Okay, Iris, we are in your hands.
Well, I'm very confused now.
Yeah, you just need to tell me what's going on inside the presentation.
Okay. So I see a basic idea.
Indeed, that's it. Very good.
And then, I mean, for me, I see another basic idea. I mean, the repetition of the basic idea. But we said it's an antecedent.
You see the repetition of the basic idea here.
Yes.
Yes, it's an antecedent
Yes.
as a whole. So all this is the antecedent of this consequent, right? But the structure
is the second line.
Sorry?
So the contrasting idea is the second line.
Exactly. Exactly. The contrasting idea will be this. But at the same time, if you analyze the structure of the contrasting idea, it's a sentence. It's a continuation and cadenza. Yeah. So all this is presentation plus continuation and cadenza. Yeah.
And then why do we call it antecedent?
Because as it has a half cadence here and this repeats here as well, we call all this entire thing a compound period. A period made of two sentences. Because the quintessential elements of the period are there in this bigger structure. So the quintessential, in a normal period, you have 2 bars, right? For the basic idea, the contrasting idea, 2 bars, again, for the basic idea, and then the cadenza, right? Yes?
We already saw this, but I think
In your cadence.
previous chapter, when he mentioned that a normal period could be considered as too small 4-bar sentences.
Precisely. But that's yes, exactly.
The functions were essentially the same.
Yes, it's the same. Yeah, it's this. Yeah, it's this. And actually, it's very important that you learn to see this as a compound period, because otherwise, you can make, not in a small piece, but in a big piece, you can make a big mistake. Yeah, because if you don't see this as a compound period, what is it? Two themes. It's not. I mean, you can see it's not. It's an idea that is sort of
Yes.
opened up. Yeah, but it's not. It doesn't qualify even for a thematic group. This, because it's not contrasting enough. Yeah. So it's important that you can see what to do. I mean, how are you going to come across this? Probably you will start thinking it's a sentence, and then you will see this one, and you will see, oh, but it's too similar. So what is this? And then you resolve it like that. You understand?
Yes.
I mean, now I am spoon feed you this. So then obviously I'm telling you it's a compound period. It's not going to happen on its own either. You're not going to find a compound period and that's it, that's the piece. Yeah, it's not going to be like that. Actually, a compound period is something you will find probably in a very large piece. Yeah, so it will be there and you will need to be able to find the most comprehensive term to label it, which is this one. And that drives me to something else which I also want to remark, is that you always need to find the most comprehensive term. It's like in mathematics. Remember maths? When you were trying to resolve equations, yeah? You always need to try and find whatever process that can round up things in the most efficient way. Yeah, well, this is the same. It's exactly the same thing. It would be extremely far-fetched, yeah, to say that these are two sentences and that they are a group of a thematic group made of two very similar sentences, 1.5. No, it doesn't really tell you the dynamics between them. Yeah, it doesn't kind of. It's true. The other thing is true, but it doesn't tells you all the story. So well, I will start with the. Just a second. That's it. So let's bracket this up and write their basic idea. Bracket above. There we are. Let's see. Basic idea. There we are. Okay. Obviously, we have another basic idea, right? It is.
Yes, I was taking notes.
That's fine.
Yes, so after that, there's the repetition of the basic idea.
Very good. Repetition of the basic idea. Excellent. And then what else?
Continuation. Sorry, wait.
Then you have here continuation. Continuation. Okay, very good. Within the continuation, what you can tell me?
Fragmentation. More harmonic reading. And
there is in the continuation, there is more than fragmentation, there is something else. No? See or no? No? You don't see it? You could label it fragmentation because you could say that you're working on this, which is fine, yeah? But this, What
Is
is
it a
it?
sequence?
Sorry?
No, we're not talking about the harmony anymore.
No. Well, yes,
No.
yes, a bit yes. You have the first, you have the second, yeah? You have this design, so
I mean,
it's fragmented. You could say it's a fragmentation because obviously it's this bit, yeah, of the basic idea. But what else it is apart from fragmentation due to the harmony?
I would say sequence.
Yes. So model sequence, model sequence. So we're going to just say model sequence. Okay, I'm here. Okay, this is the model. Georgios.
Now, I'm not sure how. Wait a minute. Two things. First of all, the C there, I suppose, will be a La on the second bar.
It is indeed, yes. I played a La when I played it, but I wrote a C. Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure what we can consider a sequence. This is obviously a sequence because it's identical, the first to the second. Now, if it was varied, like if the first tonic was in first inversion in root position, the second was in first inversion, would we still consider it a sequence?
A sequence. It's mainly about the melody.
Okay.
Right? So if the melody, it's obvious that the melody is transposed in here.
The strict and the loose arm.
No, I would say, I mean, it again, what I told you sometimes before, you need to extract the essence of all the concepts. So a sequence, what is a model sequence and what is a fragmentation? A fragmentation, I mean, this is a fragmentation. For example, if Iris analyzed the piece and wrote fragmentation, sent to me an exam, I wouldn't say it's wrong. Yeah, it's a fragmentation. But there is something that's connecting with what we just said about labeling this compound. There is something else that you can say that tells more about it. Yeah? So what is that something else that we say, well, it's a fragmentation, but most importantly, it's a sequence. So actually, the composer is probably thinking more about a sequence. The reason being that he wants to reach secondary dominance nicely with a sort of stepwise movement. So then he does inversions, right? So we can have a nice voice leading up, and then evidently everything, yeah.
Is the composer you, however?
Yeah, in this case the composer is me, but it could be anyone. Yeah. So it's trying to reach basically that's the reason why I made a model sequence. But the important thing is yes, it goes a step up, yeah. And also for you, Georgios, the most important thing to get the confidence to say that it's a model sequence is in the melody first.
Okay.
First, then you check the harmony, and the harmony in here it's telling you the same story. So then it's fine. If it didn't tell you the same story, because remember that in harmony you need to have either a sequence made of two chords, like it happens, the fifth, the first, the fifth of the second, the fifth of the third, for example, we would have that. Or in this case, we have the simplest of sequences because we're just going up, yeah? So you should, to label something sequence, you should have either a circle of fifths, a tonal diatonic or chromatic progression, like in this case, yeah, in which we are going gradually through all the notes necessary to reach the fifth, but one by one, all the bass notes, we manipulate the bass so we can go chord by chord and run into the fifth. So I gave you that, or a set of like a more complex sort of diatonic sequence, which would be fifth, for example, fifth, first, fifth of the second, fifth of the, and that would still be a sequence. Of course, the more complex you go, the more extended, which is very good to talk about extension now. The more extended will result the phrase. Yeah. So we have a model, and then when we have a model, what else do we have, Iris?
The repetition of the model, the sequence of the model.
Thank you. That's it. The repetition of the model, which is true, is the repetition of the model, is called the sequence. Yeah? That's it. Okay. So right here, sequence. Sequence. Okay. And then model sequence. Okay. And then we have this, which is,
I would say the cadence, the cadential.
oh, cadential. We're right here. Cadential. Cadential. And then the cadential, let me see how, yeah, cadential, we can write it like this. Yeah, we can write it like this and it's fine. And then I will write here something else, which I should have written before. And you should write it always in a box, yeah, which is half cadence. Okay, box text. You see that Sibelius is great for this. Yeah. Half cadence. Well, there we are. Yeah, so cadential, half cadence. Right here. Okay. Right, so here we have a very nice sentence. Okay, now I want you to say more than me this time, right? So, Georgios, can you analyze this one, please?
So, I would say, again, the sentence, and it's the consequence. I think we start almost identically. There's a seventh extra on the left hand for some reason, but Tony, I cannot. Can I? I cannot. I cannot annotate, but it will be erased.
No, you can annotate because it doesn't annotate in my file. It annotates in the mask of the screen.
Yes, but I mean, otherwise it will be erased later. So anyway,
yeah.
1, 5, 6, 5, 1, 5, 4, 3. Tonic 6, second, 5. That's it, like, okay, all the things.
One more time? Yeah, that's fine. I was just checking the.
Okay. 4, 5. Yes.
5, 7, no?
Yeah. Actually, I will do 7, 5, 3. The resolution for this.
Yes, that's it.
Okay. Now, of course, the basic idea.
Yeah, you don't need to write that one because it's already up. It's the same as it is up there.
Okay. Then again here the sequence. And then, okay, 3 bars cadential. So, what do we consider the extension? How do we, can it be taken out? No, but, well, nothing is not an interpolation because nothing can erase this, for example. So, we just said extended cadential, no?
Exactly. We extended the cadential, and we actually, in this case, I would like to say that we expanded the cadential rather than we extended the cadential. Yeah, we expanded.
Well, it is definitely expanded since we could say that the cadence starts here.
Exactly. We could say that, yeah.
Now, on the top, would you say that the cadence starts here or here?
I would start if we emulate what happened up there, we have model sequence, we have first and second, and we have fifth. if we engulf, it's unusual to engulf the sequence within the cadential. Yeah.
Well, then this is well.
Yeah.
So when does we say the cadence begins?
I would start the cadence there, exactly. 5/4 strictly, because also the syntax changes as well.
Yes.
It's clear that it's a different. Plus, if we retrospectively analyze it, the first two bars in the other place, yeah, also led into something else. So, but anyway, the cadential is expanded, yeah, rather than extended. It's expanded. Why? Because what you said, you can't take it off, no? You can't say.
You could shrink it and it would make sense. You could put all this kind of in one bar, harmonically at least.
Yeah, we could, yeah, but in a way, he says that it's extended. He would say this one is extended, but I would like to say it is expanded. Yeah, because if we think about the extensions that we have made before, yeah, that we have, for example, ended on the fifth, and then we added something, yeah, so we make it longer, right? Then that is an extension clearly, because you can take it off, yeah, and it's still. But in this case, it's part of the gesture. I mean, we should recompose it, otherwise it would be something like before, no? So. So then instead of doing that, I went.
And yet, at the same time, it feels like, because this is too new, it kind of gives
the sense of an extension.
Like we would see this in a weighted cadence, and it is not really a weighted cadence, but this is the start of the dominant. We would expect the resolution of the dominant and the tonic. Instead, we go to a different. If this was a real dominant, I would even call this evaded. But this is like 6/4, so I cannot really say it resolves there. But if it was, it's so clear, it's so near that.
Yeah.
It's almost like a evaded cadence with an extension.
Yes, we could. I think that in this, that's why I made this example, because you could say both things. You could say confidently that it's an extension by saying that you could reformulate. That's what he says. You could easily recuperate the original, let's say the standard version, yeah, and then it would be an extension. Also because of the fact that, for example, in my case, I've added an entire chord and an element that doesn't resemble, or is fairly new. Yeah, it's based on this, but it's fairly new. But we could also say it's an expansion because it's not applied to the ending, which is another topic of confusion. Normally, the extensions are clearly seen, or are more clearly seen, when they are applied to the ending of the function. For example, if it's in the half cadence and then I see something, so then it's clearly an extension, right? But when it happens inside, conceptually, it resembles more the concept of expansion, which is about swelling the function from inside. So this is a great example to give you wings, because you could like, in as far as it makes sense and you can transmit the idea of what it is, then it's obviously that it's a phrase deviation. It's obviously that it enlarges the function. Whether it extends it or expands it, yeah, it's a matter of discussion. You could say extension, he would say extension. Yeah, probably.
And I see a very unimportant thing,
Yes.
not related, but I will make this a second so that the red will be here, so there are no parallel fifths. Just that.
Okay, you would make it, but it doesn't sound very.
Like,
we are in
there is no.
Yeah, it's nice as well. Yeah, it's nice to make the second there, actually, and it makes it less rough. Yeah, mine is a bit rough. So that's it. Let me see if the voice leading happens well.
Yes.
You know why I wrote an F? I think because it's pianistically easier because of the fingers. Yeah. So
Yes.
if I don't. Yeah, it just sits under your hand. Yeah. But yeah, the voice leading will be. Also, if you do the re, which is a good idea, you make the re sound less special the second time. Yeah. This is much brighter, yeah, than this. Yes, so. Yes. So both more pianistic and a bit more, but it could be a second two. The other good reason to not place a two is repetition, because you have the two here. Yeah. So fa no. But yes, you could have used it there. Design wise, also it kind of rounds up. Yeah, you will never have a chord that you play like this in the piano. Yeah, with this, it's nicer to play with all that. Okay, so done. This one is done. One of you needs to say something else. So what's the final result on the consequent of this phrase?
You have a question?
Yes, the consequence of this compound period is therefore what in relation to the antecedents?
You understand? What
Yes.
would it be?
If there is a phrase deviation that you should
Extended.
expand it.
No.
Yeah, no, that one is definitely expanded, because what is expanded is the continuation or the cadenza. What is expanded, the second phrase is expanded. An element, sorry, is myself. I'm muddling up myself. The second statement is either extended or expanded, but therefore the entire consequent is certainly expanded. Yeah, we didn't add anything else at the end. Yeah, we operated on one element inside the compound consequent. Okay, so the compound consequent is expanded, right? And that is without any doubt, right? It's not that one is not confusing. Okay, well, that's it basically. I will just tell you some specific things about the extension. Maybe I use the next block for extension as well. Yeah. So let's take a break of 10 minutes and we continue.